Christ is risen, Mama. I wanted you to see our place here, Holy Ascension Skeet. So that sign I carved out of the granite and etched out of the granite years ago. We painted it, we gilded it. Here's our driveway. We built the stone walls here. I built them about 3 years ago out of stone that was locally available here right down the street. They blasted for a foundation. They blasted out the ledge rock and they allowed me to wheelbarrow it away. So we brought it over here in wheelbarrows full, one after another. Tons and tons of rock. Here's our house from the side. See, and there's that right there. That's our garage that I built on last year. And still working on the inside of that to finish it and make it into the workshop. Here's the beginnings of our flower beds. You'll see that's a forsythia, that yellow, taller, bush-like plant. But we have hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of flowers here, daffodils, tulips, hyacinths. You can see as I get down here closer to the end that the flowers are coming into bloom. We have some candy-striped tulips getting ready to bloom there. Wide variety of daffodils. More of the red tulips there, purple tulips here. Now our bushes. Did a lot of pruning in here over the last week to cut them back. We're going to be putting mulch down soon. More of our flower beds here. These flowers here are very pretty. They're called hellebores. Hellebores. We have several of those around the property. As we turn here just to see the other side of the driveway, we have many more flowers here in the beds getting ready. Tulips here ready to do their thing. More daffodils, tulips. Of course, we have this whole row of daffodils in the front that's very much in bloom. But in the back are the more interesting flowers. These are exotic tulips. Still getting ready. I'll take pictures of them, God willing, later in the summer, and in a couple more weeks, and more daffodils to come up down here. Okay, so now we're going to walk around the property a little bit, show you all of the other. This is only a tiny portion of the flowers that we have in the gardens. We have massive gardens here. We have over an acre of property. We have about 1¼ acres, in fact. Here we have a few more flowers here. We have poppies here. Varieties. We have now roses. We have roses alternated with daylilies all along this walkway. Roses alternated with daylilies. Here we have a giant rose bush. Here, this is our back deck. That's the side of the house, obviously. That's the kitchen door there. And that building at the end there, the additional structure here that you see, that's the chapel. That's the side of the chapel. This is a little shrine we built. And years ago, I carved that icon there of the Holy Virgin with Christ out of marble. That's Namibian white marble. Let's see if we can get a little closer to it. There you go. And here are more beautiful daffodils here. All along. I come out here 2 days in the week and weed all the beds and the walkways because the weeds are voracious. they grow like leaps and bounds. More daffodils, hyacinths, tulips. You can see here we have a lot of exotic daffodils with very interesting trumpets of different colors. This one here, this is called the dinosaur daffodil. Another exotic one here. Well, we have these beautiful tulips coming up in the back. More of the daffodils. Now you can get to see a little bit of a view of the back of the property here. Many more flower beds out there. As you can see, we're going to go back there and see more closely. This is our chapel from the side here. And see more of our beds. This is a giant raspberry bush. It does make raspberries. And these are irises here of various kinds. You can see off in the distance there is another house just past that birch tree. That is the skeet of the monastery, the Brookline Monastery. They have a skeet here. And the fathers come up. That's right on the ocean. So we'll keep walking. Here are daylilies. Here's the back of our foundation. This is the round area, is the apse of the church, the altar area of the church. And if we back up a little bit, you can see up there the icon of Christ ascending. That's the icon of the Ascension. The nuns painted that. Many years ago, they gave it to us as a gift when we first moved in here. Now, we first moved in 2003, so it's 16 years that we've been here now. We started in Pennsylvania. Here's the back. This is the entrance to the chapel. And people come. And you can see our work supplies there, my wheelbarrows for the gardening work. This is a giant geranium plant here. In a little while it'll be all covered with purple flowers. It's very beautiful. So we have here a clematis plant getting ready to grow and blossom. You can see already here, you can see it's budding. That's one of the buds there. It's getting ready to make flowers. Okay, so we'll walk along. Here we have a delphinium plant making flowers. Another big rose bush here. This is a climbing rose. It'll climb right onto this trellis over the course of the year, course of the summer. Have the peonies plants. They make beautiful, magnificent, large white flowers. More peonies here. Here it's much too early for them, but we have here the giant dahlia plants. Each of these little circular rock formations houses the roots of a giant dahlia plant. They make magnificent flowers. They call them dinner plate dahlias because the flower is literally the size of a dinner plate. Now we have more daffodils here along the walkways. Have our gate. I built this stone wall a year before that one that you saw in the front. See, we built it here. I built the gate out of oak wood and I stained it to be this color. And the wall goes all the way up along the property. Have our drainage ditch here. So then we'll walk in and we'll look at these flower beds. These are all daylilies. They make wonderful flowers in the summer of all different colors. You have your astilbes. They make a very modest but pretty flower. Here's all of our irises. These are incredible in the summer, the exotic irises. I've sent you photos of these. You might have some of them at the house, at the apartment there. You might have some of them. Many different kinds of daylilies and oriental lilies here. Over here we have, these are called grape hyacinths. Grape hyacinths because they're very small. They're little baby hyacinths, and those tiny little flowers that they make, those tiny little blooms, are like miniature little grapes. They're not even the size of raisins, actually. Here, many hydrangea bushes getting ready for the spring, for the summer. See, in Maine now, it's only the very beginning of spring. It's about 55 degrees right now here, and that's about as warm as it has been yet this year. We have phlox, the phlox plants, more daylilies. You can see the oriental lilies interspersed. Those are the oriental lilies. They'll grow very tall. Here are more rows of oriental lilies in the back getting ready. And more of our daffodil beds. You can see how I weeded this just 1 week ago, and if you look, you can see how it's already fully in need of being weeded again with all these little green sprouts. So here's more of the beautiful different varieties of lilies, oriental lilies. You can see how here some of the oriental lilies are already starting to grow taller, and they'll grow much taller before they're finished. So, and then a little stand of tulips and daffodils, and now more of our beautiful beds. We have these beautiful white tulips here.